Hello and welcome back. I'm glad you have joined me again. In our last video, we installed Nginx Proxy Manager on a Docker container. In this video, we are going to install an additional tool, and this tool is called Portainer. And this is the last container that you are going to create using the terminal. After this, we are going to be using the container that we are going to create to manage our Docker containers. And this is a user interface that we can use to access our containers to do a lot of things, as we are going to see. This video is a continuation of a series. There are 2 more videos ahead of this. So if you find that there are some concepts or instructions that are not clear, probably it's because you've not watched video number 1 or video number 2. Video number 1 is about installing Docker on the cloud, and I'm using Linode as an example. Video number 2 is about installing Nginx Proxy Manager on Docker. You have to have installed it in a certain way so that Portainer and Nginx Proxy Manager can act as the foundations of the future videos that we are going to be creating for this series. Feel free to watch those videos. There are links in the description section of this video that point to those videos in case you may want to watch them first. But if you're comfortable with the setup that I'm going to take you through this session, you can just go ahead and continue with the series. But it's advisable that you watch those 2 videos and understand them so that you don't float in this session. Portainer is a graphical web interface for managing Docker containers. The installation steps are quite straightforward, as you're going to see. Before I install this tool, you need to understand the concept of networks in Docker. In our previous installation, we created a network and we called it Nginx Proxy Manager Custom Network. You want all your future containers to be managed by Nginx Proxy Manager and Portainer as well. The moment you're able to achieve that, you forget about the CLI a little bit and concentrate on the 2 graphical user interfaces. We have installed the first one, which is Nginx Proxy Manager, and now we are going to install the second one, which is Portainer. But it's good that you know that all your future containers must fall in the network that we created initially, which was the network where we put the Nginx Proxy Manager. So your future networks will be in the subnet 172.20.0, and then you will have a number after that. So let's get started. The container is called Portainer. Make sure you're in this directory called Docker, and while you're here, you can make another directory, mkdir, call it Portainer, enter, then cd to Portainer. Doesn't have any content. Then what you can do from here is say sudo nano docker compose.yaml is going to open a YAML terminal where you can paste the code. The Docker compose file, it's in the description section below this video. There's a link there that is going to take you to the website where I've put this code. Just go there, copy the code and paste it in your docker compose.yaml file. As you can see, it's aligned in a certain way. If you don't do it this way, it's not going to work. It's very similar to the code we saw before, just a small difference. And as you can see, I've changed the network to Nginx Proxy Manager Custom, which is the network that exists. The IP address has changed from 10. I'm starting from 1. The first IP address, which is .1, is taken by the gateway. And we are going to try and create Portainer using that IP address. And you'll see it's going to fail. The port number is 9443. We are going to access this using this port on the web browser. Everything else was explained in the previous section. Unless you have anything that you need me to explain further, you let me know. But ideally, this is how the future Docker Compose files are going to be looking like. A lot of these things will change, but the structure will remain the same. And every network that you're going to create in the future will have to be in this network and will have to use this IP addressing scheme. If you change any of those, it's not going to be able to reach the network and the communication will fail. Let's place Control O, then enter, then Control X, then clear. If you have done it right, just going to install. So Docker Compose app in a detached mode. It cannot start this address because it's already in use. That's the basic error that we are getting. We cannot allocate the IP address number 1 to any container. So you need to keep in mind that the IP address 1 is being used by the gateway. Clear. You can just go again here and change this address from 20.1. Since we gave Nginx Proxy Manager IP address number 10, we are going to give Portainer IP address number 11. You can give it any address from 2 all the way to 253. I'm not going to discuss about IP networking and IP addressing, but if you want me to make a video on IP subnetting, I can make it in the future. Just let me know in the comment section. Anything that you feel like I have put in this video that is not clear and that would need a video by itself, I'll be happy to create a video for that in the future. There's no way 11 will be in use. Let's put it number 11, then Control O, then enter, then Control X, then clear. We need to run Docker Compose file again. So sudo docker -compose app -d to run it in detached mode, ls. Then we can do this. We can say docker ps, and docker ps shows that we have Nginx Proxy Manager running and Portainer running. Now here is the most interesting point about what we have done. We just need to come to our Linodes. The Linode that we created, we take this IP address, then we put it on the browser here, and then colon 9443, like that. There's an error because we are using a port number that requires an SSL certificate, and we have not yet configured any SSL certificate. I'm going to skip that part of SSL certificates because we have not pointed any domain to our containers yet. To overcome this problem in the time being, we are going to change this port number to 9000, or we can just add an additional port number which is 9000. So on top of 9443, we are also going to add the port number 9000. 9000 will be HTTP, 9443 will be the HTTPS port. When you're working with Portainer, port numbers are very important. Portainer uses 2 port numbers. The first one is port number 8000 and the second one is port number 9443. The port number 9443 is the one that we expose to the internet so that you are able to access Portainer using a domain name or using an IP address, whichever you prefer. The Portainer port 8000 is used for any API management or API configurations. Mostly it's used by what we are going to see in the future, what we call Portainer agents. Portainer agents helps you to install Portainer locally in your computer, such that you can be able to configure your Docker containers and do all you want to do without having to go to your cloud hosted containers, and the changes that you make in your local environment or in your local computing environment will be transferred to the remote environment using the Portainer agent. That is why you need Portainer port 8000. Those are the 2 important port numbers in Portainer, but once in a while you can use Portainer port 9000, which is the third port. Mostly for legacy reasons, assume you created a Portainer a while ago when port 9000 was acceptable. You can use that so that you can be able to use Portainer without going through HTTPS, but this is risky. It means your containers don't have security. So when you're configuring Portainer, make sure you configure it using port 8000 and port 9443. Don't ever use port 9000 because it's not secure. The docker compose.yaml file that I have shared at the description has port 9443 and 9000 configured. I have configured port 9000 so that you're able to follow along this video. At some point in the future, we are going to remove that port 9000 and replace it with port 8000 so that we can configure Portainer agent for remote access. So if you're doing this for a production environment where you're going to use the WordPress website that you're going to install in the future session for your business, I would prefer that you replace port 9000 with port 8000 as opposed to using 9000, which is a legacy port and which I'm just using to demonstrate this concept. In this video, I'm just going to configure port 9000, but don't change your code. Just keep it as it is. You can still be able to use 9000 and 9443 after we configure the SSL certificates. Don't edit the way I am editing. This is just to show you how you're supposed to do it in case you need to make changes. Please keep the file as I have shared it so that it can work perfectly even in the future when we configure SSL certificates. To edit the file, you need to type nano docker-compose.yaml. Let's just change this port to 9000 because this is HTTPS port for Portainer and we have not configured HTTPS. So then Control O, enter, Control X, clear, docker ps, docker stop. Then Portainer is this one. Before I continue, let me explain what I'm doing. First, I wanted to see the list of the containers that are running. As you can see here, we have Portainer running, which means that we can't modify it as it is running. We need to stop it. So we can use the command docker stop, then the ID or name of the container. So this number is the one that you're going to type here to stop the container. We can use the command docker ps to see whether it's still running or it has stopped. It's now stopped. Let's now recreate the container again. Docker compose app-d, enter, recreating, done, clear. Now let's try to access the container from port 9000. We see whether you're going to get it. And here we go. We can access Portainer from port 9000. Change the username. Use the same name that I was using for the Portainer. Create a password that you can remember. Repeat the same. We are good to go. As you can see now, we have accessed our Portainer from the web browser. This is remote from remote, not on our computers. Before you start, you need to make sure the environment has some items. This is where you select the environment. So if you click on this, it's going to create an interface that will lead you to different sections of the Portainer. And if you go to stacks, you will already see that you have Nginx Proxy Manager. Remember, we did this earlier on, and Portainer. If you go to networks, this is the network that we are using. This one I had created with Nginx when I was testing it, but as you can see, we have 3 networks that are written system. They come with the system, and then I created these 2. Yours shouldn't have one of them. So there's the dashboard. We have 2 stacks, 2 containers, 1 volume, 2 images. The first image is the image for Nginx Proxy Manager that we installed earlier, while the second image is the one for Portainer that we just installed right now. You can import an image from here. You can get an image from Docker, just typing the name of an image here, and you can pull it and then continue with the Docker operations. We have the network volumes. We have the Portainer volume. This is where Portainer data is stored. I think these other things are things that you can learn as you move along. The most important thing is the stack. I'm going to show you how you can create a stack that has more than one image in the next video. Let's meet in the next video. We see what else we can learn. In the next video, we are going to install WordPress using Portainer. This time round, we are not going to use the docker compose app command, but instead we are going to use Portainer to create a WordPress website. Thank you for watching the video. I hope it was informative to you. Let us catch up in the next video. It's going to be an interesting video, so let's catch up in that video. If you're new to the channel, remember to subscribe and also remember to activate the notification button.